on Divorce Court today. They got together when both were struggling through hard times. Douglas and Brittney rebounded together, and they had a baby. But then their circumstances and their relationship started to unravel. Douglas Brown and Brittney Johnson have brought their dispute for Judge Lynn Toler to resolve. Testimony in Divorce Court before your vows starts now.
I have here in front of me Mr. Douglas Brown and Brittney Johnson. The two of you have been dating for some time. You two went and got a marriage license on the condition you complete your GED, which I thought was a little deep, but we'll talk about that momentarily. You want to get married. You have a child together.
Yes.
And I have that marriage license here. You've given me permission to either tear it up or return it to you based on my decision. I've given you a compatibility test. But before I get into all that, I want to talk a little bit about why you would like to get married but are not so sure this is the thing to do. Mr. Brown, I'm going to start with you. Why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship?
Well, like you said, we've been together for over 5 years. Well, 5 years. And at the beginning, everything seemed fine. But as time went on, as things progressed, it just started seeming like she wanted to do less work and more just staying home, sleeping, watching television, basically doing more of nothing. And
so you're saying she got lazy on you?
Oh, yes. I was getting unemployment at that time, so neither one of us was really working because we met in a transitional home.
Right.
So me being in there for like 2 months or so, I was out looking for work every day. There was no stopping me. I was out there, I had a heat stroke because I was out there for 8 straight hours looking for a job. I was not stopping.
Right, okay, all right.
But
all right.
I was like, she's not even trying to look for work. She'd rather sit at home and watch TV, but the bills is piling up and getting paid only
and she won't even get out there and try to bring some money into the household. Ms. Johnson, your response to that contention?
Well, we had gotten into a program. So at that time, we weren't even paying our own rent. Once we got out of the transitional housing, yes, we were in air conditioning. You know what I mean? It was comfortable. We were able to enjoy each other a little bit more, I guess, than before. So I guess in a way, yeah, I got a little lazy. I still cook.
Do you work now?
I am. I work part-time.
You work part-time? Okay, well, that's better than nothing. How about you, Mr. Brown?
No, I haven't worked in the last 6 to 8 months. I went for a disability claim. Well, Social Security. I had bad knees.
They got sit-down jobs where they don't involve the knees.
I know. I've always been a person, I've been in like construction and warehouse work my whole life.
But sometimes you just got to switch up just because of what your body does.
I know.
Now, it bothers you that she doesn't do more cleaning. Explain that to me.
Well, the thing is, when I was working, because I used to work in the construction, like I said, it was construction and warehousing.
Right.
All I've ever done, and the jobs that I've had, all of them is consist of like 16-hour shifts, 12-hour shifts.
Right.
And it's hard for a person to come home after that and still have to clean the house because she want to sit down and watch television all day.
Now, is there any validity in his argument? When he was working 12 and 16-hour shifts, would he come home to a dirty house?
Yes. Yes.
And how come?
Because I
You don't like to clean, or?
It's not that I don't like to. I just didn't. I'm not disputing that he feels the laziness part. What I suffered from. I suffer from depression. There were some days where I just can't.
Got it.
And some days I just don't want to. So, and that's the honest truth. So, that is true.
He's complaining that you don't cook and clean enough. My question to you is, since you're working...
Why do I need to do that so much?
Exactly.
I work, when I do go to work, it's usually later in the evenings, 3, 5 o'clock, till 10, 11, sometimes midnight. So I think he feels that during the day when I am home waiting to go to work, that I should be cleaning the house. I should be tending to the baby.
Well, what is he doing during the day?
Same thing usually I am. I mean, sometimes he'll get up before me and he'll go out and he'll play his video games.
Does he cook? Does he clean? Does he do anything like that?
Yes, he does. He does clean more than I do. I think I do more of the cooking.
Yeah.
And I think he does more of the cleaning.
Does it bother you that you do more of the cleaning than she does?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm at somewhat at my wit's end, but trying to get her to understand what I need from a woman, because.
Well, why are you at your wit's end?
Because I've been doing it for almost 5 years.
Dealing with
same
what?
Thing. Learn to be more of an adult. As in, when your job calls you, go to the job. Don't ignore the phone call, and then we get kicked out of our house because we don't have the rent money. When you can go to work, all because they give you these hours, they give you part-time hours, but they'll call here and there and be like, yeah, you want to pick up more hours?
And she won't say
and
yes.
she won't do it. She does not do that.
Is
She'll
that
sit
true?
home.
Yes, I have done that.
And we've been getting evicted out of places because of that.
Next, have heated arguments, fighting dirty, and depression conspired to destroy this relationship. Are you considering marriage but aren't sure that your intended is really right for you? Call toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or visit our website at divorcecourt.com. Become a fan at facebook.com/divorcecourt. Real life, real relationships, real solutions. Divorce Court continues.
I read your paperwork, and I was a little concerned for you. And maybe I just read it wrong, because you don't seem to feel that way now. But you said he'd come and go, he'd leave you and come back, and that you are kind of worried about him leaving with your daughter, and that's kind of one of the main reasons you stay with him. It worried me a little bit. Is that truly how you feel?
Well, he's told me that.
Explain what he said and when he said it.
In an argument it was about the baby, actually. I think I came home from work one day, and the baby's diaper was wet and soiled, and I got upset. If I had done that, if he had came and to the house and the baby's diaper was soaked and soiled, he would have gotten upset with me. And so I was ranting and raving, and he got mad, went in the kitchen and was slamming things around and throwing stuff, and it just escalated from there. He told me that I'm basically incompetent, that I don't clean, I don't cook, that I'm not a good housekeeper. He made me feel like I was a bad mom,
But you were just coming home from work. Is that not the case?
That day, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And as our arguments escalate, we tend to say things to and about each other that are below the belt.
Huge. Below the belt.
And that was one of his moments. That's how I took it. Of course, I got upset. And he's like, you would never get the baby because of your history, your past, your mental, and that kind of stuff.
Now, Mr. Brown, let me say this to you. To do that to somebody is just so beyond low. You know what I mean? You don't threaten to rip the heart out of somebody that's the mother of your children. You don't go there. It's never appropriate, and the baby's diaper was dirty. That was your bad, because she was at work, but you don't go there. And to you, Ms. Johnson, let me say this. Having a soiled diaper is unpleasant, and he should have been told about that. Ranting and raving is never the way to go. Ranting and raving gets you that. Ranting and raving does not get you understanding, acquiescence. It's not communicating. It's just expounding on your frustration.
Right.
So can we just leave that there for a second? Because I was worried about that.
Yeah.
You believe that was just said in anger, and
Yes.
it's not really real.
Yes.
Yes.
When Divorce Court Before Your Vows continues, can a compatibility test surprise force Douglas to change his ways?
Do you think that if Douglas did a little more work around the house and less name-calling, Brittney would want to get married? Call 1-800-282-1991 to vote now and see if America agrees with your opinion. You'll also receive some valuable offers.
If you would like your case heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com and join the conversation on Twitter at Divorce Court. Divorce Court Before Your Vows continues.
Mr. Brown, we've been talking about all the unpleasantness, but within that unpleasantness, there must be some love because you're looking to get married. So why don't you tell me in 90 seconds or less why this woman right here is the woman you want to spend the rest of your life with?
Well, Brittney's a great woman. She's a kind-hearted person. She'll give you the shirt off her back. She'll give you the last dollar in the pocket. She thinks about everybody else's feelings. She'll think about your feelings before her own. She's always been a good friend to me and to other people. And I just, to be honest, I don't see really a future without her. In my eyes, she's a great woman.
Yeah.
But it's just little things.
No buts in the love part. All I want is love. All I want is positivity.
Positivity.
Any more positive?
She's a great person. That's one of the things. She's a great person.
Ms. Johnson, I'm going to give you 90 seconds for you to tell me why this man, above all others, is the guy for you. Go.
Doug is also a great person. He's an amazing father. He is my best friend. He makes me laugh. I'm in love with him. I love him. And I also don't see myself with anyone else. We've been through an awful lot, you know, loss of babies, friends, you know. We've been through that together, we've been through thick and thin. There's nobody else who I can think of that would have stayed during my lowest lows, and he has.
Okay. That was heartfelt, and he felt that. And what I see on your face doesn't look anything like the guy I saw on your compatibility test. Because I got to tell you, you were reading half a jerk. You really were. And it worried me. And I was worried for her.
Doesn't worry me.
Well, it should worry you.
It does.
It should worry you.
He's cocky.
But let me tell you what he said. I always ask my couples, will you give your spouse, and what do you want your spouse to give you as far as... And you said lovely things, like you said, I will give him love, respect, and trust. You know what he said?
No.
I already gave her everything, a car, a house. She wrecked a car and made us lose a house I can't give her anymore. Then that's that. That's the jerkiest response I've ever received. You said in your paperwork at one point that you're also annoyed because she won't get her GED so she can get a better job.
A better job, a better life? Because I'm like, how can you try to raise a child and tell a child to go to school when you don't want to go to school? You don't want... Okay,
it seems to me that you believe that the economic functioning of your family is solely her job and not yours.
No, no.
What am I missing?
No, I've done... When I started my job, I'm like, we went from being from a transitional house to a house.
I got you.
To our own house.
I got you.
Then,
I guess my question is, it seems like you think you've done enough. And kids eat every day, not just 5 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
And my question is, going forward, what do you see happening in this relationship? What do you see as what you're putting in and progressing relationship? Because right now, you're reading to me, I'm trying to get her to get off her behind and get it together. And if she gets it together, then we'll be all right, because I'm at my wit's end watching her not have it together. Unemployed. So why don't you tell me what your vision is for the union?
For us to be on the same page. If I'm trying my hardest and I'm looking at the future with us and our daughter, that's one thing I'm looking at. As our daughter, I'm like, I want you to be a
When
better
you say
citizen.
I'm trying my hardest, I guess I don't understand what you're doing.
Mentally.
So you're thinking hard.
I'm trying to show her what it is to be an adult. to grow up. Stop thinking because of your past, that means your future is screwed up.
I got you. I got you.
She's stuck on her back in the days.
Okay.
Things that happened to her.
I got you, Mr. Brown.
Judge Lynn Toler's ruling next. Divorce Court. Judge Lynn Toler's ruling right now.
Ms. Johnson, your response to his saying that he's trying his best and he's trying his best to make you be a better person. Go ahead.
Doug does want the best for me. That's why the stipulation with the GED is there. I didn't necessarily agree to it in the beginning, you know, but he wants what's best for me, and he wants me to want what's best for me and us as a family. It's not that he hasn't worked. It's not that he doesn't work. He's always been able to keep us in a comfortable means when he's working. Bills paid, you know, that kind of stuff. Now it's fallen on my shoulders in a sense, and I've not lived up to what he's been able to do, and I feel really bad for that. And what I mean by that is, because in the beginning when I started working and they would call me, I wouldn't go in. I was in bed, you know, sleeping or whichever. That's kind of what he's talking about. So when it's time for me to step up and take care of the house and to be being the only income, you know, that's what he's talking about, you know. He doesn't like to have to depend on people, and he's having to depend on me. And I feel like I should have been able to do that. And instead, you know, we had to go into transitional housing again.
Ms. Johnson, let me tell you something. You gotta quit apologizing for him. I think you're both in a tough spot, in a tough situation. Economically, things aren't good. But you're taking all of the blame on yourself, and he's putting it there. And I'm telling you, you shouldn't do that as well. You know, if you're the only one working, he should clean. You know what I mean? It's not just your job because you're a woman. It just isn't. Mm-hmm. It just isn't. And if he's at home, he should clean. That's just what that is.
He does.
And I'm saying what you need to do is believe in who you are and your value and your worth. And don't keep letting him make you feel guilty about your circumstance in toto. At no point do you get to say, well, I did my part, now it's her turn. If things ain't together, your part continues until things are together. You know what I mean? You're not gonna wait on this or wait on that and do the other thing. You make money. You contribute. It's tough. You know what I mean? And you're trying to blame her. She is not to blame. She's not perfect, but you must continue to engage and to support. You see what I'm saying? You're looking just to blame her. Listen, you guys got a kid together. I think you're in tough circumstances. I don't think you have thought out this union at all. You don't know where you're going as a team. You don't know where you're looking to head up. You kind of live day to day. And I think what you need to do is get a game plan going about where, you know, what you're going to do educationally, what you're going to do economically, what you're going to do until you get your disability or whatever. There's got to be something that you can do to further your circumstances of family. And you have to do it all day, every day, until your circumstances improve. And so what are you going to do differently when you leave here today?
I'll try to go back to school. I'll look into it again. I tried before, and there's so many different loopholes and stuff I got to go through. I just gave up on the school thing.
Oh, my God. I'm concerned and I'm worried. You don't get it. I think you get it, but I think you're afraid to stand up. I'm not giving you anything other than my best hope and wishes. Really, this matter is adjourned.
Brittney and Douglas respect the judge's ruling and have postponed their wedding. Post a comment or submit your case at divorcecourt.com or call toll-free 1-877-311-2222. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Divorce Court.